trust is reliability, consistent promise, a consistent delivery on the promise. The third level is then the openness and the vulnerability to say, can I get feedback? Can you tell me how I'm doing? This is where I'm coming from. These are my values. This is my, so it's about leadership self-disclosure, which is very difficult for people who are afraid. So to get over that fear, it's about really starting to learn about what your values are, what your attitudes are, what are you, and telling people.
Because you may use against me.
Yes, because that's what the fear is. Because use against me is that then I'm going to be lonely if people are using it against me. So you see the language.
We've seen people become lonely.
Yes. In the middle of the people. Yes. And then I think the second last one is that creating clarity. Clarity around precision, first about who you are, but I think the most critical piece is about where are you going. I find that many of the countries that we spoke about where there's bad leadership, in inverted commas, and I keep doing inverted commas because it's all relative, because it's bad according to who, yeah? And that's where the clarity vision piece comes in, because if there's a vision piece that's clear, you can then judge leaders against that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with this picture. That's what Singapore did very well. That's what, to an extent, what Rwanda has been doing very well. I think in as much as I'm talking about Ghana in terms of how their slow progress, that's one of the things they actually have done very well. I mean, watching the elections recently in December when it was happening, there was a great picture of loyalty, but not loyalty to the person, but loyalty to the picture about the country that the Ghanaians want to live in. And I think if we can start creating that picture with each and every one of our countries, each and every one of our communities, each and every one of our organizations, it will well. And only then can you be able to do the piece around concern for others. The thing about trust is that leaders are not trusted when they keep talking about number one. So the people trust you. Think about the person you don't trust at all. The person you would not live with your dog. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, rate them on their concern for others. Chances are they probably scored somewhere between 1 and 4. Maybe 5. Because most of the time it's about so if you actually look at the inversion, the concern for others as well as the self-interest are two pieces. So you you decrease self-interest and increase concern for others, you will be trusted. And when you're trusted, you're moving now into needs-based conversation, because you cannot. I think the challenge with us and service delivery on this country, in this continent, is that our leaders are not working from a needs-based perspective. And what's stopping them from working from a needs-based perspective? Fear, which creates mistrust, which means they're not listening. But if you change it around, you start listening to the needs of the people, which effectively then changes the world. We can now start having more conversations like this, because this is the conversation that's happening currently in the world that we are not having, because we are still sitting there at the bottom 2 lines. So we can't have conversations about lifespan, life extension, and citizen science, and mass space expansion, even when we're sitting with the resources that are actually contributing to that. Because they're going to come here, the people who have transcended the fear. They're going to come here, take out the resources, put them in some spaceship somewhere, and then they brag.
Colonization of a special kind.
Economic colonization. So to close, I think it's about understanding that leadership is about learning consistently. And learning consistently means you need to be continuously vulnerable and know that you don't know everything. And I always say, if you're not learning something new every day, you are probably dying.